Hey, I'm McDonald, your real estate agent with Real Property Associates, and I've got another real estate news breakdown for you here. The article is from the Seattle Times, written by Gene Balk. The title here is King County Population Hits Decade Low, Census Data Shows. Now, in real estate, one of the things that we pay a lot of attention to is the population, and that's what's happening. Is it going up? Is it going down? Aside from the job growth and wage growth, that's another one of the major factors that we're paying attention to. So this article elicits some potential fears that, hey, if population's going down in the area, then what's happening to the real estate market? What's going to happen to the real estate market? So we're going to talk about that and talk about what that means here as we dive in. So let's look at the article here a little bit. The article starts off, is the Seattle area's unprecedented population boom winding down? Today, we get another sign that might be the case, the author says. Now, again, I mentioned that this could elicit some thoughts of, well, what happens if the population slows down? That's kind of the big question. And first of all, let's see, is the population slowing down? And then how that actually applies to us. So the census data from July 1st, 2017 to July 1st, 2018, this is just released, so it takes them a long time to crunch the numbers. We had a net loss in King County of 5,000 people to other U.S. counties. So this is people that are U.S. citizens, people living in the U.S. To other counties. Now, it doesn't show us where the people are going, which is unfortunate. The author highlights this, and I think it's kind of unfortunate too, because just from an experiential piece, it seems like there's a lot of people moving maybe from King County to Pierce County or Snohomish County, which the author hints at here. Now, the numbers are kind of interesting. So the last time we were as low in growth was 2010, 2011. We had 35,709 people move to the area. This is a fun graph. We'll show it up on the screen. The numbers here in 2018, 28,934, so pretty much 29,000 people net in King County. Now, over the last 10 years, we've had even higher numbers, which has been actually kind of crazy. We've been one of the fastest growing counties in the whole US. And this last year, we were actually 6th out of all the counties. So we saw a little bit of a dip. We were up over 40,000 in 2014 as a net population growth, which is pretty crazy. The article also highlights a few other things, which we'll touch on here. So it gets kind of more into the weeds about who's coming, who's going. We heard previously that about 5,000 people actually left, versus more people left versus coming to the area. I'm going to say that again. The article highlights earlier that about 5,000 more people left the Seattle area and went to other places in the U.S. than actually came here from other U.S. destinations. The twist that the author highlights here is that even though our domestic migration hit its lowest point, actually negative for the first time in 10 years, we had our highest international migration. The county, King County, gained 21,500 people in 2018, up from 4,000 in 2017. So significantly higher amount of people that have moved here from out of the country than we've had in previous years. The author highlights that the international migration actually makes up for some of the loss that we had on the domestic migration. And it's quite interesting to look at the data and I'll show this graph here up on the screen, the 2018 census graph. In 2011, we had a little more people move here from inside the U.S., about 10,450 people move here from inside the U.S., and we had about 9,380 people move here from outside the U.S., so pretty even numbers in 2011. In what we've seen over the last 4 or 5 years is that we've slowly seen more and more people moving here from outside of the U.S. and less people moving here from inside the U.S. And this last year, the graph, and we'll highlight this here, we had 21,491 people move here from outside the U.S., and we had a net loss of about 5,000 people from the U.S., that domestic migration. So you'll see it's quite drastic on the graph here as we show it up on the screen. What we'll also find included in the population stats is what's called natural increase, and that's babies born versus deaths. And there were about 12,500 of those in King County. And the overall number is about 29,000 net increase. So when you count the loss of people and the gain of people, we had about 29,000 new residents in King County, and that was from that previous graph. We'll show it up here just again to reference it. Now, I mentioned previously in the video, and the author highlights this towards the end, that King County ranked 6th highest for numeric population growth last year out of all counties in the US. And he also highlights that since 2010, so we're talking about how drastic the growth has been in the Seattle area since 2010, the majority of US counties, about 53%, actually saw a decrease in their amount of residents versus an increase. So Seattle's actually an outlier there with growth in the county. Now, it's no secret that we've had really crazy growth in the Seattle area if you look back over the past 10 years. And honestly, the numbers don't seem scary at all. We still had 29,000 new people move to the area, or the population increase, 29,000 people. And as a real estate agent, we are following those population numbers because it does matter. If we're seeing net losses every year, I would consider that to be troublesome. But the idea that we had maybe 5,000, I'm not a math expert, but 6,000 less people come to the area, we still saw growth, which is positive, and we aren't seeing a mass exodus of people. Now, if for a couple years in a row we were seeing negative numbers as our population growth, like some of these other counties, that would be a big red flag for the real estate market. And even if we were dwindling closer to that number, that would be troublesome. But to see a slight decrease when we're talking about these numbers, it's not really a big deal. So if you live in the Seattle area, or you're thinking about moving to the Seattle area and you're thinking about real estate, it's gonna affect rents. It's gonna impact your purchasing power as a buyer. I wouldn't be concerned if you're buying a house that the population growth or lack of population growth is really going to impact that at all, and it's not really going to impact your rents. If anything, the article kind of hints that a lot of the people moving from outside of the country are coming here for tech jobs or healthcare jobs, and both of those fields are going to be paying pretty substantially more than what some of the other jobs in the Seattle area might pay. So it's interesting to see that the international numbers are up, but it's almost a hint that more of those jobs are higher paying than they are lower paying. We can at least infer that. So I don't think real estate prices on the buy side or the rent side are really going to be impacted by these numbers, and I wouldn't be surprised to see that the Snohomish County numbers, which we won't know, it doesn't actually show that, but it wouldn't be surprising to see if some of these people that are already living here didn't actually leave to go somewhere else, but they went to Snohomish County or Pierce County to get a little bit more affordable price on their housing. So those are my thoughts. I wouldn't be concerned with the slower population growth in King County. Thanks so much for watching this real estate news breakdown. If you found this content valuable, I'd really appreciate it if you would subscribe to my channel. You'll find other videos just like this one, and you'll also get to see my monthly market updates, on a monthly basis. So thanks so much for watching, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.